Chapter 3075, Snatching Treasure and Killing in What? Wang Xian got the sword and saber acquired spiritual treasure. Wang Xian got the treasure. SSS, he's so fast and has such terrifying defense. This, behind them, some of the disciples of the Willow Deity Dojo noticed the situation, and their expressions changed slightly, revealing shocked expressions. No one had expected that the acquired spiritual treasure would be obtained by Wang Xian. He has the strength of a peak emperor god. It's highly possible for him to get the treasure. Some disciples from Willow Deity Dojo thought to themselves. However, some of them were looking ahead with flickering eyes. If it were any other peak emperor god who got the treasure, they might give up. After all, these peak emperor god experts either had the backing of a primary race in the universe or had great prestige in Willow Deity Dojo. However, it was hard to say if Wang Xian got the treasure. How could the other peak stage god emperor senior brothers be willing to accept an arrogant fella without any background? Hand over the sword and saber, Mark. Do you think you can have such a treasure? Long Zitian bellowed as he looked at Wang Xian with the sword and saber in his hand. As he spoke, Long Yufeng approached and locked his eyes on Wang Xian. Beside him, the old man from Skeleton Clan and the old man with the divine tree stared at Wang Xian with flickering eyes. Only senior brother gentleman shook his head and retreated. He didn't participate. Why? Now that I've got the treasure, you still want to snatch it? Wang Xian stared at them with the sword and saber mark in his hand. The treasure belongs to those who are capable. Long Yufeng stared at Wang Xian with flickering eyes. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and kept the treasure with a wave of his arm. All right, I've kept it in my holy kingdom. I'm afraid you can't get it even if you want to. Ha ha. He laughed and looked at Long Yufeng, the old man from Skeleton Clan and the old man with the divine tree with a mocking face. The heart of the old man holding the strange divine tree sank. He shook his head, feeling a little unwilling to accept this outcome. He didn't expect the acquired soul treasure to be suppressed so quickly. Before it was suppressed, the acquired soul treasure wouldn't have been able to collect his spatial ring and divine kingdom. But now, the acquired spiritual treasure had already been obtained by someone else and placed in the divine kingdom. The chances of them snatching it were too low. Moreover, he was not on the same side as the others, so it was impossible to force him out. Acquired spiritual treasures belong to those who are capable. Junior brother Wang Xian, since you are strong, I won't compete for it. As he spoke, he retreated. The Skeleton Clan's old man also retreated backward. 3 of the 4 peak god emperor experts had retreated. There was no need for him to take action anymore. Long Zitian's expression changed when he saw the sword and blade scar being put away. He snorted softly, anger and helplessness on his face. Long Yufeng also slowly retracted his arm. Who would have expected such a powerful acquired spiritual treasure to be suppressed by Wang Xian so quickly? At the back, everyone who saw this scene was filled with shock. No one had expected the biggest winner today to be the arrogant Wang Xian. This divine tree, I'm taking it. At this time, the old man with the strange divine tree moved and flew towards the water attribute divine tree beside the coffin. Since the acquired soul treasure had been obtained, they could only take a step back. Wang. Seeing the old man with the strange divine tree making a move, senior brother gentleman and the old man from the Skeleton Clan also moved and flew towards the coffin. Let's go. Long Yufeng reminded Long Zitian, who was beside him, before flying forward quickly. What I hate the most is being threatened by others. Senior brother gentleman, the old man with the divine tree, and the old man from the Skeleton Clan heard a low murmur when they flew over. The few of them were taken aback and looked at Wang Xian in shock. Swoosh. Boom. At the next moment, Wang Xian made his move before anyone could react to the situation. His eyes were filled with murderous intent and terrifying aura. At this moment, he exerted his strength to the limit. Bam! In front of him, Long Zitian, who was only a few dozen kilometers away, didn't even have time to react before he felt a terrifying force fall on his body. In an instant, death shrouded him. The horrifying attack caused his body to explode. Hey! However, Wang Xian, who was attacking, frowned slightly as he stared at his head. On his head, There was a dazzling lightning symbol that protected his head from being smashed by his horrifying attack. However, other than his head, the rest of his body was obliterated. At the back of his lightning wings, there were 2 dazzling lightning sacred feathers that emitted lightning radiance. Under his attack, there was no trace of them. Seeing the 2 sacred feathers, he ignored the head protected by the lightning symbol. With a wave of his arm, he kept the sacred feathers into the mother nest. What? You're courting death. At the side, Long Yufeng heard the terrifying attack coming from beside him, and his heart violently jumped. When he saw Long Zai-Tian being attacked, his eyes widened, and his face was filled with rage as he roared. SSS. When the surrounding people sensed the commotion, they were shocked. This scene, what I hate the most is threats. A mere 9th order God Emperor realm cultivator dares to threaten me? Also, how dare you dragon descendants threaten me? Die. Wang Xian revealed a cold expression. He flapped his unbeginning saint wings and appeared in front of Long Yufeng instantly. His palms turned into dragon claws. The 5 elements grindstone appeared in the sky and attacked him. You're courting death. This horrifying speed, he widened his eyes in horror. He placed his arms in front of him and quickly reached out to block. Both his arms released the horrifying power of lightning. Bam bam bam. The dragon claws landed on his arms and Wang Xian clenched them tightly. Wang. Above him, a frosty longsword fell from the 5 elements grindstone. The frosty longsword condensed from attributes seemed to be able to freeze the space as it landed on his head. Scram. Long Yufeng felt the horrifying attack. He roared and the lightning around his body surged into the sky. Wang Xian moved and appeared behind Long Yufeng instantly. The sword and saber scar appeared behind him. Let's see how powerful you are. He shouted softly as he waved the sword and saber scar and slashed at Long Yufeng. The horrifying power of the sword and saber broke through the lightning defense on Long Yufeng. Chapter 3076, Robbing Treasure Descend Ka. A crisp sound came from Long Yufeng's body as the saber and sword scars swept across his body. No. Long Yufeng let out a horrified roar as he felt his body being sliced into 2. Dragon descendants. Die. Wang Xian retracted the saber and sword scars and grabbed hold of his body with his dragon claws. The lightning on his body began to dissipate rapidly and his vitality was fading rapidly. Wang Xian waved his arm and kept his body into the mother nest. Long Yufeng had been in Willow Deity Dojo for a long time. He did not have the Path of Return or the creepy lightning symbols on Long Zai-Tian. SSS. At this moment, when everyone saw Long Yufeng being killed by Wang Xian, they were shocked beyond words. They stared in horror, and everyone stopped what they were doing. Long Yufeng was dead. He did not have the slightest strength to resist Wang Xian's attack. Instant kill, a complete instant kill. Such horrifying strength. How dare you kill someone from our dragon race? How dare you kill senior brother Long Yufeng? Wang Xian, you're courting death. You're courting death. At the back, an old man widened his eyes in disbelief as he roared furiously. Wang Xian actually dared to kill someone from their dragon race. Dragon eyes lock. Wang Xian looked over when he heard the old man's words. Chains appeared around them instantly. The horrifying chains sealed off a space. You! What are you doing? What are you doing? The old man screamed in panic and fear when he saw the chains around him and sensed that the space had been sealed. Around him, the dozen disciples from the dragon race were also shocked. They swallowed their saliva and felt their scalps go numb. What am I doing? Since I've made my move, I'm naturally going to kill everyone from your dragon race. What do you think? Wang Xian looked at the people from the dragon clan with a cold smirk. You! How dare you? How dare you? Their bodies trembled when they heard him. Is Wang Xian going to go against the dragon race? This is too crazy. Just because of Long Zai-Tian's threat, Wang Xian wants to annihilate everyone in the dragon race. We've all misjudged Wang Xian. He's not arrogant. That's just his nature. Madness. Long Zai-Tian threatened him and he immediately attacked. Moreover, he exploded with such terrifying power. No wonder he could obtain the sword and saber scar acquired heaven's spiritual treasure. Long Yufeng, who was a peak stage god emperor, was instantly killed. This time, Long Zitian has kicked a hard board. During this period of time, Long Zitian has been very arrogant in our Willow Deity Dojo. Now that he has met a ruthless person, do you think that Wang Xian has really annihilated the Ice Mountain race? His strength is too strong. Everyone looked at Wang Xian, who was floating proudly in the air, with respect in their eyes. I don't care if you are a peak god emperor expert or a race's pride. Since you offended me, I will naturally exterminate you. This reminded them of Wang Xian's words. The iceberg was destroyed. Previously, many people didn't take this to heart. Now, it seemed that it might be true. Around the Gemini Celestial Emperor coffin, senior brother gentleman, the old man with the strange divine tree, and the old man from the skeleton race were looking at that figure with fear. With such a terrifying attack, they knew that they wouldn't be able to withstand it. Wang Xian, I want you dead, I want you dead. You actually dared to destroy my body, you actually dared to kill a member of the dragon descendant race. Just you wait to be hunted down, just you wait to be hunted down by our dragon descendant race's universe venerable rank powerhouses. At this moment, an extremely violent and furious voice came from the side. Everyone looked over and saw Long Zitian's head, which was protected by the lightning symbol. Noisy. When Wang Xian heard him, he waved his dragon claw. Boom. A horrifying suction force came from his mouth. I, Long Zitian, swear that within half a year, I will take your head and grind your bones into ashes. When Long Zitian saw his head flying over, he roared in a stern voice. The lightning symbol on his head flickered and his head gradually disappeared. All right, it's your turn. Wang Xian smiled faintly and turned to the rest of the dragon race. No, don't kill us. Don't kill us. Let us go. Let us go. Wang. Out of the 9, 3 of them took out fallen leaves and fled in fear. However, 6 of them were screaming in despair. Ta. Wang Xian walked over sarcastically and extended his dragon claw. Hua lolo. Chains bound them and sent them flying towards the dragon claw. No, senior brother gentleman, save us. Save us. A disciple begged senior brother gentleman for help. Senior brother gentleman's mouth twitched when he heard it. He was a good guy, but he wasn't stupid. Wang Xian was obviously bent on killing them. Moreover, he had already formed a feud with the dragon race. Wouldn't it mean that he was siding with the dragon race if he intervened? How could someone who could cultivate to the peak emperor god realm not understand this? Wang Xian waved his arm and a wave of destructive energy engulfed their bodies. Their vitality vanished rapidly. After cleaning up the dragon race, Wang Xian scanned the surroundings. Everyone quickly averted their gazes with respect in their eyes. To them, Wang Xian was too ruthless. Wang Xian cupped his fist at them before turning to leave. Seeing his back view disappear, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Now, 17 disciples of Willow Deity Dojo have died in his hands. A middle-aged man said leisurely. In a short period of time, 17 disciples of Willow Deity Dojo had been killed, and they died in the hands of the same person, the same disciple of Willow Deity Dojo. That was too ruthless. The scar of sword and saber is a type of acquired spiritual treasure. After the 5 elements great grind absorbs the frost divine sword and the scar of sword and saber, it will definitely possess the offensive power of a universe supremacy. Wang Xian flew towards the exit in a great mood. The acquisition of the scar of sword and saber basically confirmed that the 5 elements great grind would achieve a substantial breakthrough. Moreover, Wang Xian had just learned that because the 5 elements great grind had 5 attributes, it could also absorb the special characteristics of acquired spiritual treasures when it absorbed them. This absorption could also mean that the 5 elements great grind had fused with the acquired spiritual treasure. The spirits within the acquired spiritual treasures had become the underlings of the 5 divine dragons within the 5 elements great grind. After absorbing the acquired spiritual treasure, the 5 elements great grind could release the special characteristics and power of the acquired spiritual treasure. This was the reason why the 5 elements great grind had released the frost divine sword that could freeze the heavens and earth. If the five elements' great grind could absorb more acquired spiritual treasures in the future, wouldn't it be able to release all sorts of horrifying attacks? Chapter 3077. The group of senior brothers and sisters has been in the Gemini divine nation for a long time. I wonder if they have obtained the treasures inside. I heard that there are acquired spiritual treasures. I wonder who will get them. Senior brother Long Yufeng might have gotten them. After all, the dragon descendants are very strong in Willow Deity Dojo. Young Master Long Zitian is not weak either and has many treasures. That's hard to say. Our senior brother gentleman is also very strong. The senior brother from the skeleton clan is also very mysterious and unpredictable. Outside the Gemini God Emperor's divine kingdom, a group of more than 1,000 disciples gathered outside, discussing curiously. The group of senior brothers and sisters had been inside for more than a day. They were very curious about the situation inside. It was a pity that they were too weak and couldn't compete with their senior brothers and sisters. Hence, they decided not to enter. Ha! Someone is out. At this time, a middle-aged man looked at the divine nation and exclaimed. It looks like Wang Xian. Why is he alone? He must have been chased out by senior brother Long Yufeng and young master Long Zitian. Haha, it wasn't easy for us to chase the wild beasts in and he just sat back and enjoyed the fruits of our labor. How could it be so simple? That's possible. The other senior brothers and sisters didn't come. They might have chased him out. After all, this guy doesn't have a good reputation in Willow Deity Dojo. Some people looked at the figure and discussed softly. Wang Xian walked out of the Gemini divine nation. He heard some of the discussions outside and revealed a faint smile. Excuse me, who are the disciples of the dragon descendant race? Wang Xian looked around and fixed his eyes on a young man. Ha! The young man was taken aback by his sudden question. We are from the dragon descendants. Why? A few young and middle-aged men looked at Wang Xian and answered coldly. One of them was the one who stopped Wang Xian when he entered. At this moment, the young man's lips curved into a faint smile. Oh, nothing much. Let me send you guys off. Wang Xian said plainly and waved his arm. Boom. A terrifying attack arrived in the blink of an eye, and the destructive energy swept across their bodies. The four of them fell to the ground without any signs of life. Wang Xian took a look. With a swift move, he flew forward. Hiss, this. What is Wang Xian doing? Does he know what he's doing? With a wave of his hand, he killed all the disciples of the dragon race in the Willow Deity Daoist grounds. Didn't he know that they were the descendants of dragons? One of the overlords of the Milky Way. Was he courting death? Everyone swallowed their saliva and looked at the corpses in astonishment. Look at the universe AI, there's news that the Ice Mountain race has been destroyed. At this moment, another astonished voice sounded. The iceberg race was destroyed. Everyone was stunned when they heard this. Some of them took out their supercomputers and searched for information about the Ice Mountain race. When he saw the news of the Ice Mountain tribe's annihilation, his eyes widened. Who destroyed it? 88. Does it have anything to do with Wang Xian? Just as the crowd of Willow Deity Dojo disciples were discussing in astonishment, not long after, Willow Deity Dojo disciples walked out from Gemini God Emperor's divine kingdom. When the crowd learned that Wang Xian had casually killed the other disciples of the dragon descendants, they gasped. Wang Xian was going to make the entire dragon race his enemy. When the disciples outside learned about the situation inside, their eyes widened and their faces were filled with horror. When the disciples inside learned about the annihilation of the Ice Mountain race, they were also shocked. They were well aware of the strength of the Ice Mountain race. Now, they were annihilated. Was it done by Wang Xian alone, or did he have his own background? Only a primary race in the universe could annihilate a powerful domain-level race. Clan leader, all the disciples in Willow Deity Dojo, except for Zitian and 3 disciples who escaped with the Way of Return, have been killed. At the same time, in a huge island palace at the edge of the Milky Way, an old man reported to a figure above with a bitter expression. The figure was shrouded in purple gas and sat on a huge throne of a giant beast. In the sky, a head that looked like the head of a dragon was hanging. On the right side of the head stood a young man. He was extremely weak and his face was filled with hatred. Grandpa, he took away my lightning feathers. I was almost killed. Grandpa, kill him. You must kill him. Long Zhaitian stood below, clenched his fists and gritted his teeth as he roared. This time, not only was his physical body destroyed, but 2 of his lightning feathers were also taken away. To him, this was an invaluable treasure. The entire dragon race didn't have many lightning feathers. I've sent someone to investigate. Wang's yarn isn't as simple as he looks. The annihilation of the Ice Mountain race should be done by his people. A cold voice came from the illusory figure shrouded in purple gas on the stage. After we figure out how strong he is, we'll kill him and all the people related to him. After a pause, the illusory figure continued. Yes. The old man below nodded and walked out respectfully. Recover your strength first. Don't ask about other things. The illusory figure shrouded in purple gas moved and said to Long Zhaitian. Yes, Grandpa. Long Zhaitian opened his mouth but didn't ask further. He walked out with a sullen face. While the dragon race was searching for information about Wang Xian was flying quickly in the Milky Way with a smile. There were 2 pieces of good news. The Orokai had collected all the treasures and resources of the Ice Mountain race. He had also found buyers for all his battle pets. With the resources of the entire Ice Mountain race and the blazing turtle-winged beast, his strength would be enhanced. After my breakthrough, with the corpses of the experts of the Ice Mountain race, the Dragon Palace will be comparable to a primary race in the universe. I can send the disciples of the Dragon Palace to the Milky Way to hunt wild beasts and enhance themselves quickly. Wang Xian murmured. With a wave of his arm, the Immortal Palace's battle pet ship appeared in front of him. He landed on it and flew towards the direction of the Wangyan mainland. At the same time, the reputation of the Immortal Palace's battle pet ship in the Milky Way had skyrocketed due to the sale of Peak Emperor God battle pet ship. Peak Emperor God battle pet. What kind of concept was that? That was the realm of a peak domain level race. Now, the Immortal Palace's battle pet ship was actually selling battle pets of such a level. This had never happened in the Milky Way for tens of millions of years, or even longer. Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System will continue to be updated on the mobile game bar. There will be no advertisements on the website. Please collect and recommend the mobile game bar. Everyone who likes the Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System, please collect Invincible Divine Dragon Cultivation System. Chapter 3078, Dragon Descendants Wanted List. Next, I didn't expect the Immortal Palace Battle Pets to be selling Peak Emperor God Battle Pets. Peak Emperor God battle pets are definitely top-notch battle pets in the Milky Way. They are much stronger than some sub-dragon mounts. What's the background of the Immortal Palace battle pets? They have been here for less than a year and they are already selling battle pets of this level. Which powerful clan is behind them? Which powerful clan? A few months ago, the Immortal Palace battle pets had already entered the sights of many people on the AI. There was an uproar when they saw the information on the sale of the new battle pets. A Peak Emperor God battle pet. This time, the 1-foot race was luckier and had the right to purchase this Peak Emperor God battle pet. Ha ha ha, Yang Yang, not bad, not bad. You are fast this time. This battle pet belongs to us. At this moment, a dozen short figures were floating above the Milky Way in front of the Silver Moon mainland. An old man in the middle patted a girl's head and laughed. I'm just luckier. The girl smiled, her face filled with joy. Around them, some people were in awe when they saw the dozen people from the 1-foot race. Especially the short white-haired old man in the middle. He was one of the Peak Milky Way experts. They are here. At this moment, an expert from the 1-foot race smiled when he saw the ship. Let's go. The old man in the lead immediately flew over. The supremacies of the universe are here. Wang Xian stood on the ship of the Immortal Palace battle pets and smiled when he saw the people from the 1-foot race flying over. Half an hour later, the transaction was completed. Wang Xian had a large number of divine stones in his hands. He immediately entered the Silver Moon mainland to exchange the divine stones for resources. Phew. The purchase took 2 days. Wang Xian returned to the Dragon Palace in the Milky Way volcano region with a smile. Dragon Palace, we have exchanged some of the resources from the Ice Mountain race for elixirs, herbs, and fruits. Within the Dragon Palace, Yaki Devilish and the old man walked over with excitement. The Ice Mountain race was annihilated and all the resources were brought over. Wang Xian received the resources with excitement in his eyes. He had enough resources for a breakthrough. Back to the Dragon Palace, he said to Yamata no Devil Shaw and disappeared immediately. It's time to level up. Back at the Dragon King Hall of the main Dragon Palace, Wang Xian took out all the resources and devoured them immediately. A large number of elixirs were converted into dragon energy, rapidly accumulating to welcome the transformation. Clan leader, we didn't find any information about Wang Xian. He should have come from a faraway region. While Wang Xian was enhancing his strength, over a dozen old men were gathered in a study room located in the territory of the dragon descendants. An old man reported in a deep voice. An outsider. Issue a wanted order. Anyone who finds traces of Wang Xian must report to our dragon descendant race. After confirmation, you will be rewarded with a peak Emperor God weapon. The patriarch of the dragon race, who was holding a strange beast bone in the middle, said faintly. Chief, we went to find the venerable of the dense fog race and asked him to help us lock on, but he refused. An old man at the side said. It's normal to refuse. It's not as simple as you think it is to be able to annihilate the Ice Mountain race. The dense fog race doesn't want to participate, but a powerful dragon can't suppress a local snake. Moreover, we are dragons. As long as he's still active in the Milky Way, we can annihilate him. The patriarch of the dragon descendant race held the beast bone in his hand and said faintly, full of confidence. I heard that Wang Xian has the strength of a peak emperor god. His speed is unpredictable. Leave it to me when the time comes. An old man on the right with a divine dragon tattoo on his face said. His face was completely covered by the divine dragon tattoo, making him look ferocious. All right. The patriarch of the dragon descendant race nodded. No one in the Milky Way dares to go against us. Have you guys seen the message on the universe AI? The dragon descendant race has issued a wanted order. Anyone who finds Wang Xian will be rewarded with a peak emperor god weapon. That's too generous. Seems like Wang Xian has completely angered the dragon descendant race. A peak emperor god weapon. I reckon the one who will kill Wang Xian will be a venerable of the universe. That's for sure. Unless he hides in our Willow Deity dojo and Venerable Willow Deity can protect him, as long as he's active in the Milky Way, he will definitely be eliminated. Junior brother Wang Xian isn't simple either. He's very mysterious and terrifyingly strong. You guys saw his speed in the Holy Kingdom of Gemini Divine Emperor. He's too fast. The dragon descendant race might not be able to eliminate him. It's hard to say. The dragon descendant race is a primary race that has been around for billions of years. They have a strong foundation. It shouldn't be a problem for them to eliminate a peak emperor god expert. In Willow Deity Dojo, the disciples weren't too shocked when they saw the news. After all, Wang Xian had killed a peak emperor god expert from the dragon descendant race. However, they were still shocked by the generosity of the dragon descendant race. Who wouldn't be tempted to get a peak emperor god weapon just by reporting his location? The disciples of Willow Deity Dojo were discussing whether Wang Xian could be eliminated and how long he could last. Far away in the Ink Han Dynasty race ruins, within the main Dragon Palace, a roar filled with dragon might shook the heavens and earth. In the Dragon King Palace, a 50,000-meter-long divine dragon with domineering radiance was coiled up. Looking from afar, it looked like a sacred and majestic mountain peak. Every dragon scale was like a piece of jade that was created by the heavens and earth, emitting radiance. Wang Xian slowly raised his head. Sacred and oppressive. Ding, congratulations to host for leveling up to 5th Order God Emperor. Ding, congratulations to host for comprehending the laws of Divine Dragon, Saint Dragon Shadow. Name, Wang Xian Race. Yin-Yang 5 Elements Divine Dragon, 1 with the Dragon, Rank, 5th Order Void God Emperor, 8th Transformation of Divine Dragon Transformation, Origin Source. 1%, 99% required for next breakthrough, Sacred Ability, dominate the water tribe, rule any water tribe that is lower than your own level, devour living beings to extract origin source, 5 elements control cultivation technique, divine dragon transformation sacred ability, soul capture, spirit. Attachment law of divine abilities, dragon eyes 8 desolation, 5 elements dragon claw, yin-yang world destruction, 8 luminaries dragon scale, saint dragon shadow laws of existence, 5 elements grindstone, dragon country in the palm, dragon head descending, 10,000 miles dragon body, yin-yang 2 poles, yin-yang 5 elements bowl, divine dragon tail whip laws of existence control, metal, wood, water, fire, earth, light, dark, wind god nation, dragon palace owned dragon palace, level 9 dragon palace members, 10344450 inch. I've made a breakthrough to the strength of a universe supremacy. This means that a divine dragon has stepped into adulthood. Wang Xian's dragon eyes flickered and a smile appeared on his face. The legend of an adult divine dragon had just begun. Chapter 3079, Remnants of Ink Han Dynasty, Universe Supremacies on. Congratulations on your breakthrough, Dragon King. Within the Dragon Palace, everyone could feel the pressure and aura coming from the Dragon King Hall. Excitement filled their eyes. Prime Minister Turtle and the other leaders flew over and knelt respectfully in the Dragon King Hall as they spoke with excitement. The eyes of the fairy dragon tribe's patriarch of immortal spirits Yuan and the elders were filled with excitement. The Dragon Palace had the combat power of a universe supremacy. This meant that the divine dragon bloodline of the Dragon Palace would not be bullied by anyone. Get up. Wang Xian smiled faintly as he transformed into his human form and sat on the dragon throne. He asked, "How's the progress of the leaders? Dragon King, Roving Heavens, and the rest are improving. They will probably achieve a breakthrough in 10 days. Prime Minister Turtle reported. Great. Wang Xian nodded his head and instructed, "Get all the disciples to get ready. After they've leveled up, we'll settle all the problems around the ruins of the Ink Han dynasty. In addition, Prime Minister Turtle, send some men to the Milky Way to make preparations for our Dragon Palace's entry." "Yes, Dragon King." Prime Minister Turtle nodded. "You're dismissed." Wang Xian waved his hand and spoke plainly to them. The leaders of the Dragon Palace retreated. Wang Xian closed his eyes and felt the improvement in his strength. Subsequently, he stood up and shook his body. Roar. A deep roar came from within his body as the shadow of a divine dragon appeared around him. The shadow of the divine dragon, which was fused with domineering radiance, looked a little pale. With just a thought, the shadow of the divine dragon enlarged immediately. This was the supernatural power of the law that Wang Xian had comprehended during his breakthrough, Saint Dragon Shadow. Not bad. It's a very powerful attack, he murmured. With a flick of his palm, 2 lightning attribute sacred feathers appeared in his hands. These were the sacred feathers that he had obtained from Long Zitian. As he moved his palm, streams of dragon energy were nurtured. Swoosh. The unbeginning saint wings appeared behind him and the 2 sacred feathers landed on them. Traces of lightning energy appeared on the sacred wings. However, the lightning energy was too weak. There are 49 wind attribute sacred feathers, and the lightning attribute sacred feathers should also have 49. I'm still lacking 47. If I gather all the lightning attribute sacred feathers, will I have 9 attributes? Wang Xian mumbled to himself. If he really had 9 attributes, what kind of changes would there be? Could his strength improve qualitatively again? I wonder how many lightning attribute sacred feathers the dragon descendants have. Wang Xian thought to himself. Opening the Universe AI, he saw the dragon descendant race's wanted poster and smiled. The dragon descendants might have existences stronger than him, but it would not be so easy to kill him. You want to kill me? I also want to destroy your dragon descendants. 3 races, let's start with you, he said in a low voice. Then, he moved into the teleportation formation and was teleported to the Dragon Palace in the volcano domain. Then, he flew toward the Willow Deity Dojo at a terrifying speed. Since he was about to start a war with the dragon descendants, he had to bring the heart deer into the Dragon Palace to ensure its safety. Boom boom boom. Just as Wang Xian left the Dragon Palace, In the ruins of the Inkhan clan. There were 18 continents in the ruins of the Inkhan clan, and the main continent was located in the center. Back then, Wang Xian and the rest had explored all the places in the ruins of the Inkhan clan, and found a remnant fire seed of the Inkhan clan on the main continent. Back then, according to Wang Xian's information, there were 10 peak emperor god experts in the remnant fire seed of the Inkhan clan, and their strength was terrifying. Because of this, Wang Xian did not explore the main continent of the Inkhan clan. However, Wang Xian and the rest did not pay too much attention to the existence of the remnant fire seed of the Inkhan clan. Based on his understanding, although there were many remnant fire seed of the Inkhan clan and they were strong, they were trapped in the main continent and could not get out. Unless a universe venerable level existence was born. However, on their continent, resources were scarce, and the chances of a universe venerable being born was very slim. Under such uncertain circumstances, the winds and clouds in the sky above the main continent were changing. In the city of vengeance of the remnant fire seed of the Inkhan clan, countless remnant fire seed of the Inkhan clan knelt on the ground. They were extremely excited, and their eyes were burning as they stared at the sky. Above them, an old man was floating in the sky. He spread his arms and exuded a terrifying aura. It was as though the entire world had changed color because of him. Behind him, lines of black words appeared. The words floated in the void and looked extraordinary. Ha ha ha, I've broken through. I've finally broken through. The Inkhan clan will rise again. Ha ha ha. A maniacal laughter came from his mouth, and the black words condensed into black skulls, spinning around him. His body was trembling with excitement. Congratulations on your breakthrough, clan leader. Congratulations on your breakthrough, clan leader. Rebuild the Inkhan clan, rebuild the prestige of the Inkhan clan, destroy the enemy, and reignite the glory of the Inkhan clan. Rebuild the Inkhan clan, rebuild the prestige of the Inkhan clan, destroy the enemy, and reignite the glory of the Inkhan clan. Everyone below knelt on the ground. They raised their heads and roared with crazed expressions. It had been more than 1 billion years. They carried the bloodline of the Inkhan clan and carried hatred as they endured hardships in this small mainland. Today was the day that the Inkhan clan regained its glory. It's been more than 1 billion years. It's been more than 1 billion years. The Inkhan clan is back, haha. The old man in the sky also roared with excitement. He raised his head and revealed his blood-red eyes. Elders, follow me out of this mainland and reclaim the territory that belongs to us. After a few seconds, he said slowly. Yes. Down below, the 9 old men moved and immediately flew toward a mountain peak. They called that place the Recovery Peak. Once a clan member broke through to the Universe Supremacy Realm, they would be able to open the array and teleport out. Buzz buzz buzz. 10 figures arrived at the Recovery Peak. The leader of the Inkhan clan was looking at the entrance in front of him with excitement. He waved his arm and landed on the peak. The deathly still array formation slowly blossomed with light. Buzz. He slowly stepped into the formation and disappeared. The other 9 figures followed closely behind him. In the next moment, they arrived in the sky above the sky-reaching tower. This is the ruins of our Inkhan clan? The 10 experts of the Inkhan clan stood on the sky-reaching tower and scanned the surroundings. Their eyes were shining with excitement. Clan leader, this used to be the territory of the Inkhan clan. Now, some of it is occupied by others and some of it is under chaotic restrictions. These restrictions are very strong and even universe supremacies might not be able to force their way in. An old man scanned the surroundings and said with a frown, "Let's reclaim our territory first." Chapter 3080. The Tower of Babel used to be the pagoda where the disciples of the Inkhan clan practiced their formations. It has been billions of years, but it has not been damaged at all. After all, the Inkhan clan had a few powerful ancestors back then. Even the powerhouses of the skeleton clan could not destroy our foundation. The position at the side should be the merit planet of the Inkhan clan. I didn't expect it to be occupied by a bunch of weaklings. The 10 of them stood on the Tower of Babel and lamented in their hearts. Let's go down. The leader of the Inkhan clan moved and instantly appeared in the sky above the planet at the side. He looked down at the planet below him. The 9 elders immediately followed him. The Inkhan clan is back. All of you, leave our planet immediately. An elder looked down, took a deep breath, and said expressionlessly. His voice spread across the entire planet below. Ha! What? What's going on? The Inkhan clan is back. What the fuck? What are they doing? The Inkhan clan has been extinct for billions of years. Are you crazy? Why are you pretending to be from the Inkhan clan? The abrupt voice caused everyone on the planet below to be filled with astonishment. They lifted their heads and looked up. Some of them looked at them as though they were idiots. People from the Inkhan clan? Didn't they know how long the Inkhan clan had been extinct? I'll give you 5 seconds to leave our territory immediately. Some words entered their ears, and the eyes of the 10 of them were filled with a sinister look. The elder squinted his eyes and continued speaking. Who are you? This is the territory of the Inkhan clan. If you dare to spout nonsense here, you'll have to watch your tongue. An elder flew out from the planet below and stared coldly at the 10 people who did not have any aura of powerhouses floating in the void. Hee, the Inkhan clan? Interesting. Since you're not leaving, all of you can die. The elder of the Inkhan clan had a murderous look in his eyes. He waved his arm, and a black cloth strip appeared in the void. Below him, it instantly covered the entire planet below him. The cloth strip expanded at a terrifying speed. In just a few seconds, it covered the entire planet. What's this? Oh no, that elder is a terrifying powerhouse. On the planet below, everyone's expression changed drastically as they roared in horror. No, 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 no. Feeling the black cloth that was filled with death, everyone let out a roar of despair. Crash. However, the black cloth was like the Grim Reaper harvesting lives. It directly covered the entire planet, and a trace of blood slowly appeared on it. TSK, fresh blood. The black deity cloth robe hasn't absorbed fresh blood for over 1 billion years. These ants that dare to occupy the territory of our Inkhan clan are simply courting death. The elder of the remnant people of the Inkhan clan said coldly. What? They actually killed everyone on the planet. What? What are they going to do? Are they enemies of the Heaven Sea who race? When the surrounding experts saw the situation, their expressions changed drastically. Their eyes were filled with fear. I'm warning all of you, I'm the clan leader of the Inkhan clan. From today onwards, the Inkhan clan will be established once again in this universe. Anyone who dares to scram from the territory of the Inkhan clan, otherwise, die. The clan leader of the Inkhan clan scanned the surroundings with his sharp eyes, and his cold voice resounded through the void. Even though they were separated by a few dozen planets, they could still hear him clearly. What kind of existence is this? How can he transmit his voice so far? When everyone heard the voice, their faces were filled with shock. On a planet not far away, an expert from the Red Mist race saw the situation on that planet. His pupils shrank slightly, and his face was filled with shock as he moved and disappeared immediately. In the next moment, he appeared on a planet within the ruins of the Inkhan clan. This planet now belonged to the Red Mist race. However, the Red Mist race wasn't having an easy time. When the Red Mist race was established, they became a laughingstock. Now, they had been fighting with the Dragon Palace for more than a year and had been at a disadvantage. Many experts from the Red Mist race had even been assassinated by the Dragon Palace. Now, they were forced to hole up on the planet and didn't dare to come out. Even so, some of the experts from the Red Mist race had mysteriously disappeared. As a result, the Red Mist race was in a terrible situation, and their clan leader was often extremely furious. Now that a terrifying expert had appeared, and the other party claimed to be from the Inkhan clan, he had to report the situation immediately. After all, the planet they were currently on was once the territory of the Inkhan clan. If you don't leave immediately, then you can stay here forever. In the void, the 9 elders of the remnant people of the Inkhan dynasty scanned their surroundings. When they saw that some of the people on the planets were unmoved, they moved and immediately flew over. Buzz, buzz, buzz. In the next moment, the entire world underwent a huge change. To everyone, it was a disaster. Oh no, their strength is terrifying. Run, run, run. Those 9 are peak Emperor God experts. We aren't their match. Some of the experts sensed their strength and immediately fled with faces full of fear. In an instant, the radius of tens of billions of kilometers was in complete chaos. Swoosh swoosh swoosh. Who dares to kill the people of our Qianhai clan? Courting death. Soon, on the teleportation formation of a planet, tens of thousands of people were suddenly teleported over. Among them, an old man who was the leader was emitting a terrifying murderous aura. They swept their gazes around, and their gazes were filled with gloom. The moment they sensed that all the disciples' life plates were damaged, there were quite a number of Qianhai clan's elite disciples. A peak Emperor God expert immediately teleported over with his disciples. They were emitting terrifying murderous aura. Courting death. Above, the patriarch of the Inkhan clan looked over with cold murderous aura. You are the ones courting death, he said indifferently. His body shook and pitch-black words appeared behind him. The words condensed into skeletons and charged towards Qianhai clan's 10,000 people. Huh! You are the one who killed our Qianhai clan's disciples? Qianhai clan's supreme elder sensed the movement above him. He immediately lifted his head and roared. However, when he saw the terrifying black skeletons charging over and sensed the terrifying murderous aura, his expression changed. Oh no, it's a universe supremacy. His face was filled with terror as he roared, wanting to escape immediately. Roar. Just as his body started to turn illusory and he was about to flee, the enormous black skeletons instantly flew out of their mouths. These skeletons opened their mouths and instantly landed on the experts of Qianhai clan. Even Supreme Elder Qianhai clan's Supreme Elder couldn't react in time. The terrifying skeletons started devouring them bit by bit and blood splattered everywhere. Chapter 3081, A Remnant of the Inkhan Dynasty, a Venerable of the Universe Below RRR. Cries of pain resounded around the Inkhan Dynasty ruins. Qianhai Yun and the 10,000 experts were bitten by the black skeletons. Blood splattered everywhere. Their faces were filled with fear and despair. They looked at the figure in the sky in shock, their eyes filled with pleading. A universe venerable wasn't someone they could fight against at their level. A bunch of ants, how dare you occupy our territory and be arrogant in our Inkhan dynasty territory? Do you really think that just because we haven't appeared for billions of years, you can offend us? In the sky, the leader of the remnant tribe of the Inkhan dynasty looked coldly at the group of people who were screaming in fear. In the surroundings, experts from various forces and races were being chased by the 9 peak Emperor God experts of the Inkhan dynasty. They were frantically fleeing in all directions. Those who could flee back to their own god kingdom definitely wouldn't hesitate. At this moment, they were filled with fear. What was going on? Why did 10 terrifying experts suddenly appear? They claimed to be from the Inkhan dynasty race. How was that possible? The Inkhan dynasty race had been annihilated for billions of years. The people on the planets around the Inkhan dynasty were fleeing. Very quickly, it caused a huge commotion around the Inkhan dynasty ruins. Within a few hundred light years, many forces were active around the Inkhan dynasty ruins. There were even many forces that rose because of the Inkhan dynasty ruins. There were many races and domain-level forces gathered here. Now that such a huge commotion had happened, it caused a commotion among all the forces. Supreme Elder is dead. Our Supreme Elder is actually dead. In Qianhai Yun's domain-level land, at the place where the life tokens were kept, an old man shouted in shock. He moved and quickly flew outside. Very quickly, the news spread throughout the entire Qianhai Yun race. In Qianhai Yun's main hall, the tribe leader and all the experts were solemnly looking at the information on the universe's AI. At this moment, the universe's AI near the Inkhan dynasty ruins shook. 9 peak Emperor God experts and 1 universe venerable's information made all the forces feel fear. They are the bloodline left behind by the Inkhan dynasty race? In the middle of the main hall, Qianhai Yun race's tribe leader said. His expression changed drastically. The rest of the people didn't say anything. They couldn't believe this fact. If they really were the remnants of the Mohan clan's bloodline, then the sky in this starry sky would change. Master, if they really have the bloodline left behind by the Inkhan clan, then now we, at this moment, No one was more terrified than the disciples of the Red Mist race. When they received the report from their disciples and saw the information on the universe intelligence computer, they felt their vision go black. This was simply bad news. Ever since the Red Mist race was established, all sorts of things had happened. Now, a person who was suspected to have the remnant bloodline of the Inkhan clan had appeared. They were a race that had been established based on the ruins of the Mohan clan. Now that their master was here, wouldn't he be the first to kick them out? Coupled with the strength and cruelty displayed by the 10 experts, if they didn't leave this place, it was uncertain whether they could survive. Who? Emperor God Hongtian closed his eyes as he leaned on the throne and exhaled weakly. He had built the Red Mist race with great ambitions, looking forward to the day when it could become a powerful race in the universe. However, from the beginning to the present, they had suffered setbacks everywhere. A dragon palace had made them cower and not dare to come out. Now, experts from the Inkhan clan had suddenly appeared. To him, this was bad news. Escape. He opened his eyes slowly and revealed a tinge of helplessness. Everything is because of the Dragon Palace. If not for them, soon, his eyes were filled with hatred and were filled with blood. Gather all the disciples and follow me outside. Emperor God Hongtian had made a decision and said expressionlessly, Master, upon hearing Emperor God Hongtian's words, the 2 elders below were shocked. Don't worry, the other party has existences at the level of a universe venerable. They are not people we can offend. Submit to them and join them. Emperor God Hongtian said indifferently without any change in his expression. The expressions of the 2 old men below changed slightly. Then, they nodded and said, Yes, Master. We will immediately gather all the disciples. There weren't many disciples in the Red Mist race. There were only a few 100,000 of them. Such a small number was all thanks to the Dragon Palace. Soon, all the disciples gathered. They followed behind Emperor God Hongtian in shock and teleported outside. As soon as they appeared outside, they smelled the scent of blood in the air. Boom! The next moment, a terrifying power engulfed them. Emperor God Hongtian, who was at the front, narrowed his eyes and looked up at the figure above. Oh! There are some ignorant fools who are courting death. In the void not far away, the leader of the Inkhan clan revealed a smile when he saw the people from the Red Mist race suddenly teleporting over. There was fresh blood again. He realized that the outside world was simply too beautiful. If there was so much fresh blood on the core continent, his strength might have broken through a long time ago. Greetings, Lord. We are from the Red Mist race, a race that lives on the planet in the Inkhan clan's territory. When we heard that the Lord of the Inkhan clan has appeared and restored the glory of the Inkhan clan, we, the Red Mist race, are willing to be at your beck and call. We are willing to become the subsidiary of the Inkhan clan. Emperor God Hongtian looked at the leader of the Inkhan clan and felt his dense murderous aura. Oh! Ha ha ha, the Red Mist race? Submit to us. The leader of the Inkhan clan burst into laughter when he heard them and his face revealed a tinge of pride. Very good, very good. Submitting to the Inkhan clan is your best choice. Otherwise, if you dare to occupy our territory, what awaits you is death. He laughed wantonly and continued. Yes, yes. With your strength, you will definitely be able to restore the glory of the Inkhan clan in the future, Emperor God Hongtian said respectfully again. You are very tactful. Don't worry, there will be many benefits for you in the future. Come over and tell me everything about the starry sky of the Inkhan clan. The leader of the Inkhan clan said faintly. Yes. Emperor God Hongtian dared not disobey. He immediately flew over and told all the forces around the Inkhan clan. The leader of the Inkhan clan squinted his eyes and listened quietly. Go and inform all the forces that after staying at the Inkhan clan for so long, our master is back. It's time for them to pay respects to our master. Finally, he squinted his eyes and instructed. Chapter 3082, The people from the Inkhan clan are back. They still have their bloodline. Universe venerable level existence. The Inkhan clan wasn't completely wiped out. They still have universe venerable level existences. They are back. The Red Mist clan has submitted to the Dragon Palace. Emperor God Hong Tien announced on the universe's AI that the clan leader of the Inkhan clan has ordered all the experts from the surrounding clans to pay their respects. SSS, the world has changed. The world is going to change. Just as the surrounding races were shaken by the news of the Mohan family, another shocking piece of news arrived. The Red Mist clan, Emperor God Hong Tien, had submitted to the experts from the Inkhan clan. The experts from the Inkhan clan had asked all forces to pay their respects. Looking at the news, all the experts' faces changed. They hesitated and decided to head over immediately. That was a universe supremacy level existence. It had been billions of years since they last appeared in this dimension. Such a terrifying existence could kill all of them with a slap. Unless they didn't want to stay in the starry sky anymore, they could only submit to the orders of such an expert. The leaders of the forces didn't hesitate and immediately flew towards the Inkhan clan ruins. The Inkhan clan ruins used to be the most prosperous place in the starry sky. All the clans had a teleportation formation to get there. In less than 2 hours, the leaders and experts of the forces had arrived. They scanned their surroundings and flew in the direction of the Tower of Babel. Everyone, please wait here. After all the forces have arrived, you can pay your respects to the clan leader and elders of the Inkhan clan. When the crowd arrived, Emperor God Hong Tien, who was floating in the air, looked at the experts and said, "Huh? Red Mist clan leader, are they really from the Inkhan clan?" The leader of the Pangshan race and a group of experts flew over. They looked at Emperor God Hong Tien and asked in astonishment. "They are the experts from the Inkhan clan, the master of this place." Emperor God Hong Tien nodded. His words caused the leaders of the surrounding forces to change their faces. According to the information they received, the Inkhan clan used to be a very powerful and bloodthirsty clan. The number of small forces and living beings that they had destroyed was innumerable. They were fearful of a clan that used to be so brutal. As time passed, experts from different forces and races arrived. The Heaven Cao race is here. Not long after, the group from the Qian Hai Raging Dragon race arrived. Seeing them, some of the factions whispered. They knew that not long ago, a large number of Qian Hai's disciples were killed. A peak stage God Emperor Supreme Elder died in the hands of an expert with the remnant bloodline of the Mohan clan. At this moment, the clan leader of the Qian Hai Ru race and the group of powerful beings had extremely ugly expressions. The great elder had been killed, the disciples had been killed, but now they didn't dare to resist at all. They even had to come and pay their respects. This made them feel very humiliated. "All right, everyone is here." When Emperor God Hong Tien saw Qian Hai race, Tian Yang race, Tian Yang race, Ming Xuanji, Pangshan race and other powerful domain-level clans arriving, he immediately flew in after seeing the rest of the domain-level clans. The experts of the various forces followed closely behind. Emperor God Hong Tien waved his arm and a huge bridge appeared in front of him. Just like the Heavenly Avenue when the Red Mist race was first established, the road connected 2 stars. At the end of the road, an old man sat in the middle of a huge public square. 9 experts stood beside him as they looked at the incoming group. Greetings to the clan leader of the Mohan clan, greetings to the group of elders. Emperor God Hong Tien flew over and paid his respects. Greetings to the clan leader of the Mohan clan. The experts of the other forces didn't dare to show any neglect as they immediately paid their respects. The clan leader of the Mohan clan didn't say a word as he swept his gaze across the crowd. "Are all of them here?" After a few seconds of silence, the clan leader of the Mohan clan asked. "Clan leader of the Mohan clan, other than the Dragon Palace, all the other forces are here." Emperor God Hong Tien replied respectfully. "Those who are here, congratulations. Your lives are safe. In the future, all of you will submit to the Mohan clan. Does anyone have any objections?" The clan leader of the Mohan clan said to them plainly. Upon hearing his words, the experts of the other forces were shocked but no one dared to speak. "I don't like silence." The clan leader of the Mohan clan revealed a cold gleam in his eyes when no one dared to refute him. "Wang." As soon as he finished his sentence, he waved his arm and a pitch-black rope appeared in front of the clan leader of the Mohan clan and the group of experts, entangling them instantly. "Sir, we surrender." The Mohan clan is willing to submit to you. The clan leader of the Mohan clan revealed a horrified look when he saw the black rope entangling him instantly. He shouted hurriedly, "I hate your aura. How dare you be so arrogant after occupying the planet of the Mohan clan? I gave you a chance to redeem yourselves, but you didn't cherish it. In that case, you shall die." The clan leader of the Mohan clan said plainly as he clenched his fist. The black rope turned blood red instantly and absorbed the blood and energy in their bodies at a terrifying speed. "No, no, no. Sir, please give us a chance. We are willing to submit. We are willing. Don't kill us." The clan leader of the Mohan clan shrieked in horror. However, the shrieking didn't last long before it stopped abruptly. The clan leader of the Mohan clan didn't have any change in his expression. The black rope turned into blood-red words and entered his body. "Great Elder, bring a few people with you and let Hong Tien bring you to the Mohan clan to exterminate them." The clan leader of the Mohan clan said plainly. "Yes." A few clan leaders nodded and looked at Emperor God Hong Tien. "Yes." Emperor God Hong Tien's expression changed as he responded immediately. "The Sky Yang clan is willing to submit to the Mohan clan. We are willing to submit to Sir Venerable. We will be at your beck and call in the future." The experts from the Sky Yang clan saw the scene and their eyebrows twitched violently as they replied respectfully. "The mountain-piercing clan is willing to submit to the Mohan clan and be led by the Mohan clan. The Thousand-Hand clan is willing to submit to the Mohan clan. We will not hesitate to climb a mountain of swords or plunge into a sea of flames." The experts from the various clans were filled with fear as they knelt on the ground and submitted to the Mohan clan. A peak Emperor God expert was killed instantly without any resistance. Such a scene made them feel touched and terrified. Chapter 3083, Surrender. Those who don't surrender shall die. Below on a square of the Ink Han clan's territory planet, the atmosphere was dead silent. The experts from various races and clans knelt on the ground, not daring to move. In front of him, the Ink Han clan's clan leader sat there quietly with his eyes closed. The experts from various forces held their breaths. As time passed, the clan leader of the Ink Han clan didn't speak. No one else dared to speak either. Half an hour, 1 hour, an hour and a half later, the 4 elders from the Ink Han clan who had left with Emperor God Hong Tien returned, giving off an intense stench of blood. "Clan leader, the Qian Hai Ao clan has been annihilated." An elder walked over and reported with a smile. He bared his teeth and looked extremely creepy. When the experts of the various races heard this, their bodies trembled violently. Annihilation. This was annihilation. By the side, Emperor God Hong Tien's face didn't look too good either. His face was a little pale. As the clan leader of the Red Mist clan, a peak Emperor God expert, he had lived for close to 100 million years. He had seen many annihilations, but this was the first time he had seen such a bloody annihilation. When a race annihilated another race, there was a 99% chance that they wouldn't kill the ordinary people. They wouldn't kill the weak people on purpose. However, the annihilation of the Ink Han clan was complete annihilation. Planet after planet was destroyed. Everyone on the planet was annihilated like ants. Even he couldn't get used to seeing billions of living beings being killed. "Very well. If anyone wants to die, let them die," the clan leader of the Ink Han clan said faintly. He stood up slowly and looked forward. "Get up." "Thank you, clan leader of the Ink Han clan." When the crowd heard this, they slowly stood up. "Hong Tien, you said that there's another force that hasn't arrived." He looked at Emperor God Hong Tien beside him and asked indifferently. "My lord, there's a force called Dragon Palace." Emperor God Hong Tien's eyes lit up when he heard the clan leader of the Ink Han clan. "My lord, the Dragon Palace is not simple. They have the bloodline of the Divine Dragon, and it is suspected that there is a pure-blooded Divine Dragon in the Dragon Palace. Back then, many forces wanted to capture the Divine Dragon of the Dragon Palace, but were stopped by them. Moreover, they have powerful killers. Currently, 90% of the Dragon Palace is located in the mainland of your domain. We can't do anything about their lair there." Emperor God Hong Tien continued, his eyes flickering. "Oh, Divine Dragon bloodline? A purebred Divine Dragon? The clan leader of the Ink Han dynasty narrowed his eyes slightly. Yes, sir. If we can destroy the Dragon Palace, we can obtain a great amount of resources. If we can capture them and tame them as battle pets, they will be even more valuable. Furthermore, according to our speculations, the Dragon Palace should have obtained the powerful inheritance of the divine dragon. God Emperor Hong Tian added. Really? The clan leader of the Ink Han clan narrowed his eyes and looked at the experts from the other forces. My lord, what Emperor God Hong Tian said is true. The Dragon Palace is indeed strange. They improve very quickly and it is highly possible that there is a real dragon in there. Seeing the gaze of the clan leader of the Ink Han dynasty, the experts from other races immediately echoed. In particular, the soul-living race and brain-spirit race had a tinge of hatred and excitement in their eyes. Once the experts from the Ink Han dynasty set their sights on the Dragon Palace, where could the Dragon Palace escape to? The lair of the Dragon Palace was also the mainland of the Ink Han dynasty's domain. In other words, the Dragon Palace was in their home. Wouldn't it be very easy for their master to kill them? Interesting. A divine dragon's bloodline, a lesser dragon. This is very valuable. Dragon blood is extremely beneficial to cultivation. An elder beside the clan leader of the Ink Han dynasty squinted his eyes slightly and said excitedly, "It seems like we are in luck." The eyes of the elders beside him lit up and they said excitedly, "Divine dragon bloodline, alternative dragon." Even if they were isolated on the mainland, they knew the value of it. In particular, some of their cultivation was related to the bloodline and blood. Interesting. They placed their foundation in the territory of the Ink Han dynasty. Haha. The leader of the Ink Han clan laughed and his eyes lit up. It's just as well. The Ink Han clan is back on the stage of the universe and we lack a lot of resources. If the Dragon Palace really has a half-dragon or a divine dragon, it would be a great opportunity for the Ink Han clan. Clan leader, the closer we get to the interior of the Ink Han dynasty's domain, the messier the formation is. I'm afraid it will be difficult to enter. Emperor God Hong Tian reminded him. To you, all the planets and continents are the territory of the Ink Han dynasty. It will naturally be very easy for us to enter. Let's go. Today, I want to see if the Dragon Palace is as you said. The clan leader of the Ink Han dynasty grinned and swept his gaze across all of them. Yes. The experts from the various forces nodded and immediately followed behind. Buzz. The clan leader of the Ink Han dynasty moved his palm and 18 spheres appeared in his hand. The sphere in the center was glowing while the other 17 were dim. With his current strength as a universe venerable, he could light up the other 17 spheres. He waved his palm and landed on one of the spheres. The sphere gradually glowed. Buzz buzz. A black hole appeared in front of him. His lips curled into a smile as he walked straight ahead. The group of elders immediately followed behind. Emperor God Hong Tian and the rest also followed closely behind. They stepped into the black hole and appeared in the sky above a continent. The entire continent looked barren and dilapidated without any signs of life. It's not here. The clan leader of the Ink Han dynasty said plainly as he placed his palm on the second sphere. The sphere glowed. Behind them, a group of experts from various forces followed quietly. But very quickly, they sensed an emergency message from the universe AI. They opened it and when they saw the content, their pupils shrank and their eyes were filled with shock. The message was about the Qian Hai Hu race. It showed that the entire Qian Hai Hu race had hundreds of billions of people wiped out. Even the weak women and children were not spared. More than half of the Qian Hai Hu race's planet was destroyed. Bloody and brutal. When they saw the message, they felt a tinge of fear in their hearts. Such a true genocide was rare and bloody and brutal. I didn't expect their genocide to be so brutal. A powerful domain-level race in this starry sky was wiped out just like that. I'm afraid the Dragon Palace is in danger. They might become slaves. That's the best outcome for the Dragon Palace. The experts from the various races exchanged glances and were filled with shock. The Dragon Palace's ending would be tragic. Chapter 3084, Killing with a single move on. There's nothing here either. Are you sure Dragon Palace is within our territory? The clan leader of Ink Han clan entered the mainland through the balls. After searching 5 to 6 continents, there was still no sign of Dragon Palace. An elder of the Ink Han clan asked with a frown. There's a 90% chance that Dragon Palace has placed its lair on the inner continents. At the side, Emperor God Hong Tien frowned slightly. There are a dozen more continents. Continue searching. Don't disappoint me. In the middle, the clan leader of Ink Han clan looked at Emperor God Hong Tien faintly. Emperor God Hong Tien's expression changed. He didn't know what he would do after witnessing the brutality of the clan leader of Ink Han clan. Clan leader, the lair of Dragon Palace is located in the ocean. Does Ink Han clan have a continent with a larger ocean? At this moment, Emperor God Hong Tien's heart moved and he immediately asked. Oh! The clan leader of Ink Han clan raised his eyebrows as he moved the balls in front of him and locked onto one. Vroom. A black hole appeared in front of them again and the clan leader of Ink Han clan stepped into it. The rest of them followed closely behind. The next moment, a continent filled with ocean appeared in everyone's sight. Huh! Everyone squinted their eyes when they saw the ocean below. The clan leader of Ink Han clan scanned the surroundings and flew straight ahead. It should be here. The lair of Dragon Palace should be here. Dragon Palace has been relying on this safe lair to be so arrogant. Let's see how they can escape now. The experts of the Life Soul race and the Brain race swept their gazes around, their eyes blazing with fervor. The Dragon Palace had killed a large number of experts from the two clans. They hated Dragon Palace to the core. Seeing that they were about to find the lair of Dragon Palace and their impending disaster, they were filled with ferocious excitement. At the front, Emperor God Hong Tien was also smiling coldly. This time, Dragon Palace, go to hell. Vroom. The leader of the remnant clan of the Ink Han dynasty stopped on the surface of the sea and looked down with a smile in his eyes. He waved his arm and the seawater beneath him parted. The seawater, which was tens of thousands of kilometers deep, flowed to both sides. With a wave of his hand, he could overturn rivers and seas. Behind them, a group of experts from various races flew over. When they looked down, their eyes sparkled. Many forces coveted the Dragon Palace. The Life Soul race was filled with hatred. Now that the lair of the Dragon Palace had appeared, everyone's attention was fixed on it. Hualala. At the same time, in the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle and the others in the Dragon Palace had already received the news when the great changes occurred around the ruins of the Ink Han dynasty. With the appearance of a universe paragon, the living beings on the Ink Han dynasty ruins planet were killed. Soon after, the Qianhai Ao race was wiped out. The news made Prime Minister Turtle and the others realize the seriousness of the problem. They actually came to our Dragon Palace. In the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian walked out of the Dragon Gate and looked up. After receiving the message from Prime Minister Turtle, he immediately rushed over from the Milky Way. Just now, he was still discussing with Prime Minister Turtle about the experts of the Ink Han clan. Now, the experts of the Ink Han clan had actually come directly. Looking at the surging seawater, it was obvious that the newcomers were not friendly. Universe Paragon? Wang Xian's lips curved slightly. Dragon King, 1 Universe Paragon and 9 Peak Emperor God experts. There are also experts from the surrounding forces behind them. Prime Minister Turtle and the other leaders of the Dragon Palace said as they followed behind. Hehehe, they are not friendly. Orokai and the rest squinted their eyes and smirked eerily. Swish swish swish. At this time, the leader of the Ink Han clan gradually descended from above. Dragon Palace, I didn't expect you to be hiding so well. How unexpected. Emperor God Hong Tien stared down and locked his eyes on Wang Xian and the rest. He couldn't help but growl. What's the meaning of your arrival with such great fanfare? Wang Xian swept a glance across Emperor God Hong Tien and fixed his eyes on the leader of the Ink Han clan as he asked plainly. Do you know whose territory you are in? The leader of the Ink Han clan asked plainly. In the past, this place belonged to the Ink Han clan. Wang Xian looked at him and continued plainly. It's good that you know. Now, your master is back. The leader of the Ink Han clan seemed to be narrating a fact as he hovered about 1,000 meters away from Wang Xian. As he spoke, He sized up the dragon palace in front of him curiously. This is the dragon palace? Such might is very similar to the legendary divine dragon palace. It seems like you guys have obtained some inheritance from the divine dragon. I heard that there is a divine dragon in your dragon palace. Call him over and let me have a look. The leader of the Ink Han clan continued as he sized them up. Hee hee. Wang Xian chuckled when he heard him. Hee, our master? Ordering us around at will? When Orokai heard what they said, he felt that it was funny. He laughed mockingly. That guy from the dragon palace is digging his own grave. I'm afraid they don't know who they are talking to. Perhaps they don't know the exact situation outside. How dare he speak to the leader of the Ink Han clan in such a manner? TSK. At the back, the experts from various forces revealed playful smiles when they saw this scene. Do you know who you are talking to? You're digging your own grave. Before the leader of the Ink Han clan could speak, Emperor God Hongtian looked at Orokai with killing intent in his eyes. He waved his arm and a staff appeared in his hand. A pale claw instantly clawed at Orokai. Hee, Emperor God Hongtian, you trash. How dare you become someone's dog? Interesting. Orokai laughed out loud. His arm turned black and elongated. He grabbed the pale claw and destroyed it. Ha! A peak Emperor God expert? Emperor God Hongtian sensed Orochi's attack and narrowed his eyes. There's a peak Emperor God expert in the Dragon Palace. The experts from various races were slightly shocked. This was the first time the Dragon Palace had displayed the fighting power of a peak Emperor God. I've already given you a chance to live. The leader of the Ink Han clan looked on expressionlessly and said plainly. A chance to live? I was thinking of dealing with the Ink Han clan ruins after some time. Now that everyone is here, it will save me a lot of time. Wang Xian chuckled when he heard the leader of the Ink Han clan. He swept his gaze across all of them. Just in time. Everyone was here. He wanted to test his strength. Chapter 3085. One move down her? They're all here. When the experts from the various races heard Wang Xian, they were taken aback and looked at him with astonishment. What did he mean? And why was this guy so calm? Did the Dragon Palace not know the current situation in the outside world? They didn't know the strength of the leader of the Ink Han clan? I really hate you, so go to hell. The leader of the Ink Han clan stared at Wang Xian with a cold look in his eyes. He hated this calm young man in front of him. Since he didn't know what was good for him, he could die now. Boom. As he spoke, he waved his arm and black words flew out of his body. The words instantly condensed into a kill word and attacked Wang Xian. Level 1 Universe Venerable. You're courting death. As Wang Xian spoke, his figure disappeared instantly. When the black kill word reached the center of them, before the leader of the Ink Han clan could react, Wang Xian's figure had already appeared behind him. The dragon claw pierced through his body directly. At this moment, it was as though space had frozen. The leader of the Ink Han clan widened his eyes and his pupils dilated little by little. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Cough, cough, cough. After a full second of silence, a special horrifying sound was heard from the side. On both sides, the elders of the Ink Han clan opened their mouths wide and let out sounds of horror. Their bodies were trembling violently. They turned their heads stiffly and stared at the unbelievable scene before them. You've offended someone you shouldn't have. Since the Ink Han clan has been annihilated, you should disappear forever. There's no need for you to appear again. Wang Xian's voice was heard and waves of deadly energy came from the dragon claw. The deadly 5 elements force entered the body of the leader of the Ink Han clan and quickly melted away his vitality. No, don't kill me. Feeling the vitality in his body disappearing, the leader of the Ink Han clan panicked and feared. He lost his voice and wanted to resist. However, Wang Xian's dragon claw had already penetrated his body and was standing behind him, suppressing him completely. The leader of the remnant clan of the Ink Han dynasty widened his eyes in disbelief. He was a universe venerable. He had just broken through less than a day ago. He didn't want to die. Stop, let go of our patriarch. At this moment, the elders of the Ink Han family who were at the side also reacted. They roared and charged towards Wang Xian with horrifying aura. Hualala! Wang Xian looked at them. Chains appeared around them and wrapped them up instantly. What? The elders of the Ink Han clan widened their eyes as they looked at the chains that bound them. Their eyes were filled with shock. Hiss! At this moment, all the powerful beings of the surrounding races shuddered as they looked at the scene before them in horror. What was going on? The powerful and invincible patriarch of the Ink Han clan was instantly killed by the Dragon Palace's Dragon King. As for the rest of the peak stage God Emperor elders, they were restrained by a single gaze from the Dragon King. This scene was beyond his imagination. How could they have foreseen this scene? That Dragon Palace Dragon King has the power of a universe supremacy. Moreover, he isn't an ordinary universe supremacy. Oh my god, this. How is this possible? Low growls came from the mouths of the experts of the various races, and they kept swallowing their saliva. Who could have imagined such an ending? Die. Wang Xian's emotionless voice reverberated as though he was passing judgment. A greyish five elements power enveloped the body of the Ink Han clan's patriarch. Bam! He threw him casually as though he was throwing a dead dog in front of Prime Minister Turtle, Orokai, and the other leaders of the Dragon Palace. He swept his gaze across the 9 elders of the Ink Han clan and pulled the void with his palm. Hualala! No! The chains contracted and screams were heard. Bam bam bam! Similarly, corpses were thrown casually in front of the dragon sect. Gulp! Looking at the 10 experts being killed casually, the experts of the various races couldn't help but take 2 steps back. They looked at the corpses and felt their scalps go numb. To them, the experts of the Ink Han clan's remnant bloodline were already invincible. The powerful Qian Hai clan, one of the top domain-level clans in this starry sky, was easily annihilated by them. However, the experts whom they couldn't resist were killed by the Dragon King of Dragon Palace in an instant. They couldn't put up any resistance. They were still waiting for the Dragon Palace to be annihilated. Now, it's time to talk about our business. Wang Xian looked at the experts from the other races and revealed a faint smile. Wang. At this moment, Emperor God Hongtian's face was pale and his forehead was covered with cold sweat. His figure started to turn illusory. Wang Xian looked at him. The space around him started to collapse and Emperor God Hongtian, who was trying to escape back to his holy kingdom, appeared. Swoosh! With a face full of fear, he hurriedly turned around and wanted to walk out. Roar! At this moment, a dragon roar was heard and an illusory 8-colored divine dragon entered his body. No! Emperor God Hongtian screamed in despair. Wang Xian waved his hand and threw Emperor God Hongtian's corpse aside. 11 corpses lay there quietly. The weakest among them was a peak expert in this starry sky. Greetings. Dragon King. The leader of the Mountain Pisser race trembled as he knelt on the ground and shouted at Wang Xian. The rest of the experts from the Mountain Pisser race also knelt on the ground and shouted, "Greetings, Dragon King. Greetings, Dragon King." The rest of the experts followed suit and knelt on the ground as they shivered. They knew that the sky in this starry sky had changed. However, the owner of this sky wasn't the Ink Han race but the Dragon Palace. They knelt on the ground and waited for the judgment of the Dragon King. Especially the experts from the Life Soul race and the Brain race. Cold sweat kept dripping down to the ground. They had a feud with the Dragon Palace. However, they didn't dare to escape and they couldn't. Even the universe supremacies died in the hands of the Dragon King. Given the Dragon King's means, if he wanted them dead, this universe wouldn't tolerate them. They could only pray in their hearts that the Dragon King wouldn't kill them. Everyone from the heavenly underworld race, get up. Prime Minister Turtle, I'll leave them to you. Wang Xian looked at the experts kneeling on the ground and said emotionlessly. After that, he turned around and walked into the Dragon Palace. He didn't care about these forces anymore. They weren't worthy of the Dragon Palace's attention. His target now was Milky Way. The people from the Ink Han race brought a lot of resources to the Dragon Palace. He murmured. Chapter 3086, Dragon King. The forces around the Ink Han dynasty ruins have been dealt with. Prime Minister Turtle reported to Wang Xian in the Dragon King Hall after settling the issues. Dragon King, We've gained a lot this time. The group of leaders walked in and said excitedly. Oh! Wang Xian looked at them and was confused. The clans were afraid that the Dragon Palace would take revenge on them. Hence, they took out a huge amount of resources, especially the few clans that were eyeing the divine dragons of the Dragon Palace back then. The resources they took out were enough for the Dragon Palace to produce a few peak Emperor God experts. With all the resources, Dragon Palace should be able to increase the number of peak Emperor God experts. Like the Life Soul tribe and the Brain tribe, they are willing to offer all the resources and treasures in their treasure vault to save their own lives. Prime Minister Turtle said with a smile on his face. In that case, together with the Ink Han Dynasty survivors and the corpses of Emperor God Hongtian, Dragon Palace can produce about 25 peak Emperor God experts and 1 universe supremacy. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow and said plainly, "Yes, Dragon King. Our Dragon Palace will get a huge boost this time." Prime Minister Turtle nodded his head and continued, "With such strength, even if our Dragon Palace is placed in the Milky Way, it would still be considered a powerful force. The corpses of the universe supremacy of Ink Han Dynasty can be used to increase the strength of the Heaven Formation. After the Heaven Formation is upgraded, Dragon Palace should be able to rank high in the Milky Way." Wang Xian calculated in his heart. Currently, Dragon Palace had more than 80,000 Emperor God disciples. Among the primary races in the universe, it was a very small number. In fact, it was even smaller than some domain-level races. However, Dragon Palace had quite a number of peak Emperor God experts. Currently, Dragon Palace had 11 peak Emperor God experts. With another 25, it would be 37. 37 peak Emperor God experts. Compared to the primary races in the universe, it wasn't a huge number. Moreover, there was still the Heaven Formation and himself. Once the Heaven Formation was upgraded, it could go against 3 level 1 universe supremacies. And he had the strength to instantly kill a level 1 universe supremacy. The few weak primary races in the Milky Way only had 1 universe supremacy. After settling things here, send a large number of our disciples to the Milky Way. There are countless aquatic wild beasts in the Milky Way. Hunting them will increase the strength of our Dragon Palace rapidly. Wang Xian continued speaking to Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, after the heaven array is broken, it will be much easier for us to hunt aquatic desolate beasts. Our strength will also increase exponentially. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. Wang Xian nodded his head. With the resources in the Milky Way, it was sufficient for the members of the Dragon Palace to improve tremendously. Sky Formation, go ahead and make your breakthrough, he ordered. Tianjin nodded his head and flew into the Dragon Transformation Pool excitedly. While the members of the Dragon Palace were improving, another sensational event took place in the starry sky around the Mohan Sha ruins. Everyone had thought that the Mohan family would regain its glory and establish an immortal clan once again. However, he did not expect that the 10 experts of the Ink Han clan would all be killed in less than a day. Even that universe paragon had perished. The terrifying strength of the Dragon Palace was revealed in front of everyone. The experts of the various races didn't hide anything. They didn't dare to hide anything on purpose. Everything that happened in front of the Dragon Palace was also announced. When everyone learned that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace had instantly killed the universe paragon with the remnant bloodline of the Ink Han clan, their faces were filled with shock and disbelief. Following which, all the races and forces around the Mohan Sha ruins announced their allegiance to the Dragon Palace and that the Dragon King was their leader. This news shocked everyone. They knew that the king of this region had been born. It had only been 2 to 3 years since they knew about the Dragon Palace and the Dragon Palace's dominance. In 2 to 3 years, a huge force was born. A new primary race of the universe, the Dragon Palace, was born. As for the Red Mist race, they had completely disappeared. As the days passed, the various races respectfully sent their resources to the Dragon Palace. Tianjin and the experts of the Dragon Palace were also rapidly improving their strength in the Dragon Transformation Pool. After settling the matter with the Milky Way iceberg race, Wang Xian had a rare moment of leisure. I'm about to complete the breakthrough. More than 10 days later, Wang Xian held the 5 elements Great Grindstone in the Dragon King Hall. On the 5 elements great grindstone, there was a saber and a sword. The saber and sword looked a little illusory and weak. Acquired spiritual treasure, sword and saber scar. The acquired spiritual treasure, the divine sword of frost, had been absorbed by the 5 elements great grindstone. The absorption of the saber and sword scar was also nearing its end. Once absorbed, the 5 elements great grindstone would possess the destructive power to kill a level 1 supremacy in the universe. After all, the 5 elements great grindstone had absorbed 2 acquired spiritual treasures. Wong. Before long, the 5 elements great grindstone in his hand trembled. The illusory saber and sword dissipated and were completely integrated into it. In the center of the 5 elements great grindstone, the spirits of the divine sword of frost and sword scar flickered. They swam nimbly within the 5 elements great grindstone. After absorbing the 2 acquired spiritual treasures, the 5 elements great grindstone had also mastered the strongest offensive means of the 2 acquired spiritual treasures. It's done. Waving his hand, Wang Xian could feel the terrifying destructive power contained within the 5 elements great grindstone. He smiled. Rumble. At this moment, a powerful aura came from the dragon transformation pool. Wang Xian moved and immediately appeared before the dragon transformation pool. Tianzhen, who was glowing with 9 different colors, emitted waves of majestic aura. Even though he had just broken through, the aura of Tianzhen was several times stronger than that of the remnant race of the Incan dynasty. Dragon Palace, upgrade complete. Tianzhen cracked a smile and flew to Wang Xian immediately. Congratulations, leader of Tianzhen. Prime Minister Turtle also flew over and congratulated him. It's almost done. Prime Minister Turtle, get the disciples of Dragon Palace ready. We'll enter the Milky Way. Wang Xian said. Yes, Dragon King. We've already made preparations. We've also investigated the Milky Way volcano region. We can get the disciples to move out now. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. Get Xian Lingyuan and the rest over. I have something to ask them. Wang Xian instructed Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded and left immediately. Let's go. Wang Xian gestured to Tianzhen and walked towards the Dragon King Hall. Next, it was time to plan for the Milky Way. Although the Dragon Palace was strong, it was not strong enough to annihilate the Dragon Descendants race, Skeleton race, and Nine Swords race. In fact, they were not even a match for them. If the Dragon Palace wanted to improve quickly, they could only target the wild beasts of the universe supremacy level. There was a wild beast of the universe supremacy level in the volcano region. Chapter 3087, Venerable Level No Leader on Greetings, Dragon King. Within the Dragon Palace, Xian Lingyuan and the rest came to the Dragon King Hall and greeted Wang Xian respectfully. Have a seat, Lingyuan. I have something to ask you. Do you know anything about the venerable level wild beast in the volcano region? Wang Xian asked. You're too kind, Dragon King. We don't know much about the venerable level wild beast in the volcano region. However, it has lived in the volcano region for hundreds of millions of years. In the Milky Way, people call it no leader. It's very strong, especially in the volcano region where it has the home ground advantage. 500,000 years ago, 2 venerable level experts from the dense fog race tried to kill it. However, they failed. It was said that even the venerable fire mist of the dense fog race couldn't stop it. Some experts speculated that it can travel to any place in the volcano region quickly and travel through the volcano region easily. The volcano region is like its backyard. Without the strength of a 3rd or 4th stage venerable, it would be hard to capture it. Of course, this is just a guess. It's only a 1st stage universe venerable. Xian Lingyuan explained to Wang Xian. Do you know where it lives and where it is active? Wang Xian nodded slightly and continued to ask. We only know its approximate location. As we don't know the details, we don't dare to get close. Xian Lingyuan replied. The approximate location is enough. Wang Xian nodded his head. He looked at the sky array at the side and said, let's see if we can capture this wild beast. If we can, our Dragon Palace will receive a huge boost. Yes, Dragon King. If we join forces, Even if we can't defeat a Stage 2 universe venerable, he can forget about killing us. Tianjin nodded with a confident look on his face. In that case, let's head over together. Wang Xian stood up and said to them. Yes, Dragon King. Tianjin and the rest nodded. Soon, Wang Xian led Tianjin, Devil Shaw Roving Heavens and the rest of the 37 Peak Emperor God members to the volcano region through the teleportation formation. Lead the way, Wang Xian said to Xian Lingyuan and the rest. Xian Lingyuan and the rest nodded and flew in one direction. This time, the Dragon Palace could be said to have mobilized all of their peak forces. 37 Peak Emperor God members were sufficient to fight against 3 first-stage venerables of the universe. Together with him and the Heaven Array, suppressing a universe venerable level 1 desolate beast shouldn't be too much of a problem. After flying for 2 hours, Xian Lingyuan and the rest came to a stop and looked around. Here, at the bottom of the Milky Way, huge flaming mountains were arranged chaotically. As far as the eye could see, it was filled with mountains of flames, with balls of magma bubbling out of the mouth of the mountains. There were many flaming mountains, at least hundreds of thousands of them. Each flaming mountain covered an area of tens of thousands of kilometers. Dragon King, this is the area where Wushou is active. I don't know if it's sleeping or something else. Xian Lingyuan pointed to the front and spoke to Wang Xian. The entrances are above these volcanoes. According to my investigations, all the volcanoes are connected. They might have been opened up. This volcano domain is where the supremacy-level desolate beast is active. Dragon King, if we want to capture it, it's best to enter. Tianjin held a geomantic compass in his hand and a black book beside him. There were lines of words on the book. There was also a mirror-like sorcery tool at the side. The geomantic compass was a sorcery tool that Tianjin had created himself. That mirror was also a sorcery tool of divination sorcerers. The black book in his hand was an acquired spiritual treasure. It was a sorcery tool of the descendants of the Ink Han dynasty. This area is too huge. It will take too much time to search for it. Wang Xian shook his head as his eyes flickered. Ao Feng. Wang Xian looked to the middle-aged man beside him. The middle-aged man was dressed in green and exuded the might of a divine dragon. Dragon King, Ao Feng cupped his fist. Transform into your wind divine dragon form. You will be the bait and fly above the mouth of the volcano. See if you can attract it over. His eyes flickered as he spoke. The bloodline of a divine dragon was a fatal attraction to any wild beast. A weak wind divine dragon would naturally be a great attraction to wild beasts. This was a unique fishing method. Yes, Dragon King. Ao Feng nodded. Bring this with you. Even if you are ambushed by the headless beast, you can withstand its attack. Wang Xian placed the 5 elements grindstone on Ao Feng and reminded him. Yes. Ao Feng nodded. With a move, he transformed into a humongous wind divine dragon. His body swayed as he stared at the spot in front of him. He, old Feng, you can inflict some injuries on your body. It's best if you leave some blood on your body. The heavier the better, Mo Sha said with a smile. Ao Feng stared at him. His body trembled slightly as the dragon scales on his body cracked open. Large amounts of blood flowed out. Roar. Roar. He let out a deep roar and flew forward immediately. This will increase the chances of attracting the wild beast. Mo Sha smiled. Get ready. Wang Xian spoke to them as he fixed his eyes on Ao Feng. All right, let's go. Dragon King, should we get closer? Mao Zedong frowned and asked as he watched Ao Feng disappear from his sight. No need. The 5 elements grindstone can ensure his safety. If we get too close, we might alert the headless beast. Given Ao Feng's speed, he should be able to escape for a distance if he encounters a martial-level wild beast. Wang Xian shook his head. Woo woo woo. Time ticked by. After an hour, a deep roar came from ahead. As though an ancient existence had awakened, it let out a horrifying roar. Boom. Soon after, Wang Xian and the rest sensed a heat wave assaulting them. A massive creature that spanned over 50,000 meters was chasing after Ao Feng in a frenzy. From afar, it looked like it only had a head without a body. The hideous head had a horrifying mouth. Tongues of fire spewed out from its mouth towards Ao Feng. Ao Feng fled frantically as the five elements grindstone emitted rays of light to protect him. Get ready. Wang Xian looked at the headless beast ahead. His eyes shone as he spoke to Tian Zhan and the rest. Yes, Dragon King. Tian Zhan nodded. He waved his hand and started setting up the array. They were standing below a volcano. Roar! Roar! Ao Feng fled with all his might. When he arrived before Wang Xian and the rest, he let out a dragon roar. Woo woo! Behind, the headless beast stared at Wang Xian with its huge eyes. Suddenly, it seemed to have sensed something and slowed down. Two huge eyes looked in the direction of Wang Xian and the rest. Chapter 3088, Honorable Wu Showdown Her? Wang Xian and the rest were taken aback when they saw Wu Shou's speed dropping drastically. Dragon King, I think we've been discovered, Tian Zhan said with a slight frown. Do it. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and dashed out. His speed was terrifying, comparable to a level 2 universe venerable. In an instant, the distance between him and Wu Shou was reduced to hundreds of millions of kilometers. Behind him, Tian Zhan and the rest also made a move and flew over immediately. Woo woo. Wu Shou wasn't too surprised to see Wang Xian and the rest. Instead, his eyes were filled with violence. Rumble, rumble, rumble. In the next instant, all the volcanoes in the surroundings erupted. Rolling magma rose and attacked Wang Xian directly. Wang Xian's expression changed when he saw the volcanic attack that covered a radius of more than 1 billion kilometers. Behind him, Roving Sword, Barky Demon Fiend, and the rest were shocked when they saw the horrifying attack. They quickly blocked it. 8-word kill. Once the heaven formation was completed, it charged towards Wu Shou. Wang Xian waved his arm and the 5 elements grindstone appeared in his hand to form a defense. His speed increased abruptly. Woo woo. Feeling Wang Xian's horrifying speed, Wu Shou's body slammed heavily on the ground. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Around it, pillars of fire rose and extended towards Wang Xian. Wang Xian ignored the attacks of the pillars of fire and barged in directly. 5 elements dragon claw. He grabbed in the air and a greyish 5 elements dragon claw appeared in front of him and clawed at him. Universal dragon eyes. At the same time, the divine dragon chain flickered in his eyes and chains appeared around Wu Shou instantly. Gigantic chains emerged from the magma and headed straight for Wu Shou's head. Clang! The 5 elements grindstone let out the sound of a sharp sword. A dazzling frost divine sword slashed at Wu Shou's eyes. Divine dragon shadow. Roar! Wang Xian shook his body, and a majestic shadow of a dragon charged towards Wu Shou. Waves of horrifying attacks descended on him instantly. Woo woo! A look of fear appeared in the eyes of the demonic beast as it sensed the threatening attacks coming at it. Bam bam bam! The surrounding volcanoes suddenly exploded, and its body dived downwards. Chain, control. Seeing that it was trying to escape, Wang Xian swung his dragon claws, grabbed a chain, and grabbed it towards the sky. 8 characters, seal. The heavenly formation flew over at this moment, and the characters on the 8 characters of heaven in front of it formed seals, sealing off Wu Shou. Woo woo. Wu Shou looked at the chains and the black seal around his body, and his eyes were filled with blood-red rage. Roar. It let out a roar and opened its huge mouth. A volcano slowly drilled out of its mouth. The volcano was scarlet red and contained a terrifying might. Thick liquid oozed out of the volcano and covered his body. Ka. The chains began to crumble, and the black seal began to burn. You can't escape. When Wang Xian saw some of the chains crumbling, a cold glint flashed in his eyes. In the next instant, he appeared right above the eyes of Wudong. Blade mark. Dragon claw. The 5 elements grindstone and Wang Xian unleashed a terrifying attack at one of its eyes at the same time. Bam! The horrifying blade mark and dragon claw caused one of its 1,000-meter eyes to explode. Ah! Ah! A blood-curdling scream came from its mouth. A horrifying white mist was released from its exploded eye. The white mist shrouded its body. Ha! Wang Xian frowned when he saw the white mist obscuring his vision. Suppress. he bellowed, and the 5 elements grindstone enlarged and pressed down on Wu Shou. Boom. Ka. Some shattering sounds were heard, and the white mist gradually disappeared. When Wang Xian saw the situation inside, he knitted his eyebrows. Shit, that guy escaped. At this moment, members of the Dragon Palace flew over from behind, and they looked terrible. When the battle broke out, they did not join in at all. Wu Shou's attacks were all area of effect attacks, and they were exhausted from defending against them. Just as they broke out of the defense, Wu Shou had already escaped. The entire battle lasted only 10 seconds. Wang Xian looked down, and he frowned when he saw pieces of leather-like things. It should be an escape ability similar to a cicada shedding its carapace. I didn't expect this Wu Shou to be so difficult to deal with. Tianjin flew over, and he looked terrible as well. Dragon King, old ancestor Hua Wu of the Red Mist race, is a level 2 universe supremacy. Even he couldn't capture this Wu Shou. This Wu Shou isn't as simple as we thought. Xian Lingyuan scanned the surroundings and spoke. Those who can cultivate to the level of universe supremacy aren't simple. Wang Xian sighed and shook his head helplessly. Initially, he wanted to suppress this Wu Shou. If he could tame and sell it, he could increase the number of universe supremacies in the Dragon Palace. Now, it seemed like it would be a little difficult. Let's search and see if the Wu Shou is nearby. Ao Feng, where did you find it? Bring me over to take a look. Wang Xian said to Ao Feng reluctantly. Yes, Dragon King. Ao Feng nodded his head and led Wang Xian forward. 10 people in a group. Let's search. Be careful. Tianjin said to the rest of the Dragon Palace leaders. All right. Roving Heavens and the rest nodded. Subsequently, Wang Xian and the rest searched for 2 days but didn't find the Wu Shou. Feeling helpless, they could only return to the volcano region. The Wu Shou was severely injured this time. It will be even more difficult to suppress it the next time. I'm afraid it will have to recuperate for decades, centuries, or even longer. Wang Xian sat on the dragon throne and shook his head as he looked at Tianjin. Dragon King, I can't do it on my side either. I used the array to search and could only find out that it is among the volcanoes. It seems to be one with the volcanoes. Tianjin said. The Mist race is also a sorcerer. If they can't locate the Wu Shou, it will be hard for you to do the same. Wang Xian didn't have much hope for Tianjin. Next, bring the members of the Dragon Palace to hunt in the Milky Way. Try to improve the strength of the disciples of the Dragon Palace. He continued to instruct. Yes, Dragon King. Tianjin nodded. Dragon King, some senior brothers and sisters from Willow Deity Dojo are in trouble in a secret realm. At this time, Mi Xin Lu suddenly walked over and reported anxiously. Huh? Wang Xian looked at her and raised an eyebrow. Dragon King, take a look at this. She immediately walked over and handed Wang Xian a twig. Chapter 3089, it was a willow twig, and on the willow twig was the treasure of the Willow Deity Dao Field. Wang Xian knew a little about this kind of willow twig. It could carry out some simple messages. Although this willow branch was a little useless, there was one thing that was very important. That was, even in a sealed domain, information could be transmitted through this willow branch. Wang Xian did not have such a willow twig. The heart-crushing deer was given to him by a group of senior sisters. Within the Willow Deity Dao grounds, most of the disciples had very good relationships with each other. For example, the relationship between Mi Xin Lu and her senior sisters was very good. There was a distress signal on the willow twig. What surprised Wang Xian was that it wasn't just one person, but a total of 40 to 50 people. Apart from some distress messages, there were also some arguments. Dragon King, senior sister Lingxin and senior brother Gentleman discovered a mystic realm. However, there's a traitor among them. This traitor informed the disciples of the Nine Swords race, and the disciples of the Nine Swords race informed the experts of their race to attack senior brother Gentleman and senior sister Lingxin. The Heart Deer said to Wang Xian. Senior brother Gentleman? Wang Xian raised an eyebrow. He didn't know much about the disciples of the Willow Deity Dojo. The only person he knew was senior martial brother Gentleman. As soon as he entered the Willow Deity Dojo, Senior Brother Gentleman invited him to a banquet. He had the strength of a peak emperor god. For him to request for reinforcements, the opponent was definitely strong. Moreover, among the unaffiliated disciples of the Willow Deity Daoist grounds, the men were led by Senior Brother Gentleman, while the women were led by Senior Sister Lingshan. There were a few hundred of them, so they were not a small force. The disciples of those races usually wouldn't provoke them. They were attacked by a universe paragon? Wang Xian asked curiously. No, it seems like he was besieged by peak god emperor experts from the Nine Swords race. Dragon King, a senior sister, sent me a message. They are actually in the Crescent Moon secret realm. Suddenly, the Mi Xin Lu let out a cry of surprise. Crescent secret realm? Radiance flickered in Wang Xian's eyes. No wonder they were willing to offend Senior Brother Gentleman and the rest. As for the Crescent Moon secret realm, Wang Xian had learned a little about it from the library of Willow Deity Dojo. The Crescent secret realm was a very mysterious secret realm in the Milky Way. According to the information, the Crescent Moon secret domain was the Crescent Moon Venerable's Cosmos God Empire. Everyone in the Milky Way knew about the Crescent Moon Venerable. Back then, the Crescent Moon Venerable was known as the crescent moon that hung above the Milky Way, shining upon it. This sentence had another meaning. The Crescent Moon Venerable reflected the entire Milky Way and knew all the places and secrets of the Milky Way. The Milky Way had no secrets in front of the Crescent Moon Venerable. The Crescent Moon Stream, which had once been awe-inspiring for a time, was very popular for selling all kinds of information and materials. But later on, the Crescent Moon Venerable spied on a powerful existence in the outside world and was killed. It was said that all of his treasures were in his divine kingdom, and one of his acquired spiritual treasures was also in his divine kingdom. This acquired spiritual treasure was called Crescent Moon Overhead. It was an assistive acquired spirit treasure. One could only imagine the amount of treasures within a universe lord-level cosmos god nation. It was worth it to offend a large number of Willow Deity Dojo disciples. This was especially true for the tribes of the Nine Swords. So what if they had offended some disciples of the Willow Deity Daoist, right? What's the situation over there? Wang Xian squinted his eyes and asked the Mi Xin deer. A senior brother was killed by an expert of the Nine Swords race. Senior Brother Gentleman and Senior Brother Spirit Heart entered a room and the other party is temporarily unable to enter. Senior Brother Gentleman and the rest have the key to the Crescent Moon Venerable Cosmos God Nation. Now, Senior Brother Gentleman is looking for help. Senior Sister wants me to ask Dragon King if you are interested in the treasures within the Crescent Moon Venerable Cosmos God Nation. The Mi Xin deer asked Wang Xian. The Nine Swords race will probably send their universe lords over for the treasures of a universe lord, right? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and asked doubtfully. The universe lords can't enter. The key is in the hands of Senior Brother Gentleman and the rest. Moreover, they have some control over the God Nation. Initially, the disciples of the Nine Swords race entered through their method of entry. But now, Senior Brother Gentleman and the rest have changed their method of entry. Even the universe lords can forget about entering. The Mi Xin deer communicated with her senior sister through the willow branch while reporting to Wang Xian. Tell them that we are heading over. Wang Xian's interest was piqued. Disregarding everything else, if Senior Brother Gentleman were to request for his assistance, he would give him some face. Given his current strength, it should be a piece of cake for him to do so. Secondly, the god nation of a universe lord, an expert who had once shaken the entire Milky Way, would definitely have many treasures in his secret realm. In particular, Wang Xian was very interested in the crescent moon illuminating postnatal spiritual treasure. Yes, Dragon King. Senior Sister has said that she will immediately inform us of the coordinates and method of entry. The Mi Xin deer nodded. Wang Xian revealed a smile. The Mi Xin deer had a good relationship with the disciples of Willow Deity Dojo. The group of senior brothers and sisters trusted him very much. If not for his relationship with the Mi Xin deer, Wang Xian believed that Senior Brother Gentleman and the rest of the senior brothers and sisters wouldn't come to him for help. Dragon King, Senior Sister, and the rest have sent the coordinates to me. Soon, The Mishin deer reported to Wang Xian. All right, we will head over immediately. Wang Xian nodded. He hesitated for a moment and contacted Ao Fenghuang and Ao2 Dragon King. Soon, Ao Fenghuang and Ao2 flew over and greeted him respectfully. Follow me to a place. Once you are there, you will protect the Mishin deer. Also, transform into your battle forms. Wang Xian instructed them. Yes, Dragon King. Ao Fenghuang and Ao2 nodded. Their figures moved and immediately changed. Ao Fenghuang transformed into the battle form of the earthly lightning and earthly fire dragon and phoenix species. Dragon head, horse body, phoenix wings, and lightning tail. As for Ao2, he transformed into a dragon turtle and exuded a heavy aura. A god nation with a universe lord might be dangerous, not to mention the people from the Nine Swords race. If they were to explore it, Wang Xian might not be able to take care of the Mishin deer. Moreover, he had to thank senior brother gentleman and senior sister Lingxin from Willow Deity Dojo and the rest for him to be able to enter the Crescent Moon secret realm. Wang Xian wasn't a heartless person. At the very least, he had to ensure their safety. Ao Fenghuang and Ao2 should be enough. In terms of defense, they were almost invincible below the Universe Lord level. Let's go, Wang Xian said. Little lass, Shin deer, come on up. Ao Fenghuang flapped her wings slightly and said to the Mishin deer. Thank you, Uncle Ao Fenghuang. The Mishin deer nodded and sat on Wang Xian. Wang, let's go. Wang Xian waved his arm and the 5 elements grindstone appeared beneath them. Chapter 3090, The Helper-Upper Buzz. Within the Milky Way, Wang Xian and the rest were shuttling rapidly at the bottom of the sea. The Mishin deer sat on Ao Fenghuang's back and pointed out the route. The Crescent Mystic Realm was a legendary mystic realm in the Milky Way. No one knew its exact location. Many experts had tried to investigate the Crescent Moon mystic realm, but none of them had found it. The universe god nation of a universe supremacy had already transcended ordinary spatial domains. There was a saying that described the cosmos god nation of the paragon level: a grain of sand, a world, a leaf, a heaven. Within a speck of dust, there might be a cosmos god nation comparable to a star. An honorable's cosmos god nation was extremely secretive. If one wanted to enter, there were 2 ways. The first was to have a way to enter. Secondly, because of the death of the Venerable, the God Kingdom's energy was consumed, and a part of the God Kingdom was exposed. The current Crescent Moon mystic realm was a complete divine kingdom. Although the Crescent Moon Venerable had perished a long time ago, the energy within it had yet to be exhausted. If Wang Xian and the rest wanted to enter, they had to master the method of entry. With Wang Xian's speed, which was comparable to a level 2 universe venerable, he traveled at a very fast speed. Even in the vast Milky Way, it only took them 2 days to get there. Dragon King, it's right in front. Mishin Lu looked at the message on the willow branch and said to Wang Xian. Wang Xian nodded his head. He slowed down and scanned the surroundings. Someone's there. When they flew over, they found that there were 4 or 5 figures in front of them. They were in the air, looking around. Dragon King, they're in the sky, around those 4 or 5 people. Those people should be the reinforcements that senior brother gentleman and the others found. Mishin Lu looked up into the sky and said to Wang Xian. He concealed his aura and moved. The 4 of them flew up into the sky. At this moment, when the 5 people in the sky saw someone flying over, they immediately looked over and whispered to each other. We are disciples of the Willow Deity Dojo. We received a message from senior brother gentleman and senior sister Lingxin and came to help. Who are you people? Mishin Lu glanced at them and asked. New disciples of Willow Deity Dojo, right? We can be considered your senior brothers. The leading old man sized up the heart-crushing deer, Wang Xian, and the rest as he spoke plainly. Did senior brother gentleman ask for your help? The Mishin Lu also sized them up and asked again. Hee. The old man in the lead smiled and took out a willow twig. Joining the Willow Deity Dao ground didn't mean that one could stay there forever. Apart from advancing to the Universe Sovereign Realm, one would be forcibly expelled from the Willow Deity Dao ground after 30 million years. These people were obviously senior disciples of Willow Deity Dojo. After confirming their identities, Mi Xinlu nodded her head and told Wang Xian the exact location. The four of them flew up into the sky. The Crescent Secret Realm was above the Milky Way. They flew for tens of millions of kilometers before stopping. The 5 people at the side looked at the information on the willow branch in their hands. Through the willow branch, he contacted Senior Brother Gentleman and Senior Sister Lingxian to confirm their identities. Junior Sister Mi Xinlu, the entrance is here. The old man in the lead pointed at a place where a crescent moon could be seen in the sky. He waved his hand, and a spatial rift appeared in front of him. The inside of the crevice looked ordinary and there was nothing special about it. However, the crescent moon mystic realm was here. Bam! The old man waved his arm and a powerful force landed on the center. A ripple appeared there. There were thousands of ripples. He extended his arm and reached into one of the ripples. Let's go in. As the old man spoke, his figure disappeared. Let's go in too. Wang Xian took a few glances. When he saw them entering, he extended his arm and entered. Mi Xinlu and the rest followed closely behind. In an instant, the space changed. They seemed to have entered another space. A crescent moon was in front. The entire crescent moon was huge, at least tens of millions of kilometers in size. The huge crescent moon occupied half of this space. The crescent moon was made of special materials. It was hollow inside and had many entrances. As soon as Wang Xian entered, he could feel a strong pressure. Dragon King, your strength is suppressed by at least 90%. Ao Fenghuang transmitted her voice to Wang Xian. Wang Xian nodded his head. His strength was also suppressed by about 90%. The Crescent Moon Venerable was not at rank 1 or 2. His cultivation was very high, so it was normal to be suppressed in his god nation. Everyone, let's go and meet up with Senior Brother Gentleman and the rest. Senior Brother Gentleman is now below the Crescent Moon. The old man at the side said to Mi Xinlu and Wang Xian. Okay. Wang Xian nodded his head and the group flew forward. Senior Brother Kong, Senior Brother Shu, Junior Sister Mi Xinlu, Wang Xian. When Wang Xian and the group approached, a group of people led by Senior Brother Gentleman and Senior Sister Lingxian walked out from the side and greeted them. Clearly, they had been waiting for a long time. Some disciples had also changed the way they addressed Wang Xian. After all, Wang Xian's strength was obvious. Moreover, he had an unbridled character. They did not dare to address him casually. Now that Wang Xian was wanted by the dragon descendants, they did not want him to come. However, there were too many experts from the Nine Swords race. Moreover, they had powerful divine weapons. Relying on the support of others was definitely not a match for the experts from the Nine Swords race. They had no choice but to let Mi Xinlu inform Wang Xian. After all, Wang Xian's strength was obvious to everyone. Even if he could not match up to a universe venerable, he was almost invincible among the peak Emperor God experts. Moreover, he had obtained the postnatal spiritual treasure, Sword Scar. His attack power should have increased again. Junior Brother Gentleman, what's the situation now? The old man who was addressed as Senior Brother Kong walked over and asked as he looked at the group. As we have a crescent moon key, we can control a part of the secret realm. However, this is the only way we can escape the attacks from the experts from the Ice Mountain race. Now, the experts from the Ice Mountain race are exploring above the crescent moon key. We dare not step inside. Senior Brother Gentleman said with a bitter expression. We did not expect Jingyu to secretly inform the disciples of the Ice Mountain race. If not for him, Junior Brother Miao would not have died. Senior Sister Lingxian said angrily. Junior Brother Gentleman, Junior Sister Lingxian, how many people have you found for support? Senior Brother Shu asked. The only ones we can confirm now are Senior Brother Kong and Senior Brother Shu. Senior Brother Lu will be here soon. He should be with the experts from the race. As for the exact number of peak Emperor God experts, we are not sure. As Senior Brother Gentleman spoke, he looked at Wang Xian, Ao Fenghuang and Ao Tu. End of chapter.